This Tennessee school bus tragedy, it breaks my heart because I drove the school bus and I transported all levels of schools, all ages of children. And this bus had some very young children, and many of them have died. Now, one mom says that her son sits up front in the bus, and he died. But it's ironic that this driver survived. Um, I mean, the front of the bus gets knocked up, and he survives, and the kids die. So this is a tragedy that no parent really wants to hear. Your son or your daughter's school bus has crashed, and you're just hoping that your child or children survive, and then you hear that yours dies, and so on. So you see the bus on the road, you know this is a bad situation here. Now, what I learned from a little the broadcast is that um, there's a narrow winding road. It's posted speed limit of 30 miles per hour, and this driver swerved to avoid a garbage bag. Now, these three situations are kind of funny. I mean, the road is winding, you can't go too fast. Going beyond the speed limit, it's illogical. The speed limit is telling you the conditions of the road aren't able to support. In other words, higher speeds, you're going so fast that you can't have time enough to maneuver, and you're gonna have a problem. And to try to avoid a garbage bag, I mean, you got to see what you're avoiding. If it was a child or another vehicle, a person, I can understand that. But anything else, um, you could run over a garbage bag. It's not going to be as bad as this. So it's unfortunate these kids had to go through this. And I understand, this guy here. When you look at his picture, you question, what's going on here. He looks disturbed here. He has this Rasta hairstyle, and it tells me several things as I watch this brother. This brother seemed to have some mental problems inherently. And then I'll say, very respectfully that he seemed to be on a kind of marijuana user. Now, almost everybody using marijuana now, but this guy here, he seemed to have a marijuana problem. What I find is that when people are using marijuana, or most drugs, but I think marijuana particularly, it seems to starting to affect the brain. And usually you find them always playing with the hair. It seems to me that they're trying to massage the brain. It's a subconscious move, and they're trying to twist the hair back and forth, and it's trying to create a kind of a panacea. It's trying to see if it could soothe the part of the brain that is coming back to them as kind of having a problem. They're trying to scratch it or massage it, as it were. And so sometimes they go into a full blown Rasta hairstyle. And with the Rasta philosophy, of course, it's to smoke weed. So I'm not sure how the two come together, but they are together. And this is a problem. I'm not sure why a civilized nation is going to, make smoking weed legal. Of course, I mean, people want it, and so the majority want it, even though you have whatever is going to happen. But somewhere along the line, folks got to understand that this thing is not smart. I mean, people give you all the benefits, and it's a drug. It has medicinal purposes. People use it when they're having terminal problems they can't eat, etc. So when you don't have those problems using it, you're just abusing yourself and hurting yourself. So it's unfortunate though that this guy had to be driving the school bus to cause this grief and to have these young lives snuffed out. So can you say that people driving school buses and other dangerous situations shouldn't use weed? Well, how are you going to regulate that if the person is smoking weed? You can't tell them don't smoke weed because your job. They're going to do it anyway. Are there people out here who don't smoke weed or who don't do drugs? Maybe those are the people you have to hire in the first place. I don't know if it's illegal to say, do you do drugs? You can't get hired here. I'm not sure, but it's a tragedy, and I hope that this doesn't happen again. But people doing this weed, nobody knows how much weed is going to get you a place where you lose control of your activities and so on, and the effects, whether it's motor, whether it's cognitive, whether it's psychosomatic. Who knows what effects? Nobody has studied it, but yet it's legal. So um, take note.